Oh, hello. And we are back at it again, playing C6. We're going right into the Caro-Kann. Today we are playing an 1770, so I'm 100 points higher than this opponent. And let's check a little bit about his profile. 4 years ago, 6,000 games. Dude's from Croatia, and it looks like he is rated lower than me in every single category, every single time control. So we're going to just pin this knight because getting this bishop out is always a problem. And so if this trade happens, it opens a little square for our knight. If this happens, I generally think that taking is the best move because if you don't, you scoot back and just get absolutely just pressed on this side of the board. So I haven't decided what I want to do with this knight, so I'm just going to bring this knight to the middle. If this knight ever moves, then this comes with check. And I'm pretty much ready to castle. I'm going to do this just so I have somewhere to go with this bishop. We're then going to castle. And ooh, I need to make this full screen, don't I? Sorry about that. I hope that I can edit that. And I'm having a keen little idea of pin this, take, and then I grab this pawn. Or we just scoot back with the bishop, have a place to put my knight. Then my knight's at least doing something instead of just staring into pawns. Dude wants to get aggressive. I think I'm going to stick with my plan of bringing my knight to the middle. This knight still has not got to enter the game, and that makes me a little bit sad. Probably that is not something my opponent is going to do. He's not going to just allow us to get the knight easily activated, and still this is not going to be fun. I don't even know why the Caro-Kann is such a popular opening. I feel like I am getting a terrible position. It's probably more or less equal, but I feel like the opponent's position is just far easier to play. Look how much space he has. I don't have so much space, and this pawn is terrible for me. Now I think I need to accept that I'm not really going to get this knight into the game other than if I do one of these moves. Oh, my back is a little sore. So I'm doing this one. Sometimes you just got to make a choice. Now if he takes, it then is not so bad for him because my knight is already on a weird square. But probably bringing my queen out this way is a reasonable idea. This, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then you get my bishop for free. Yikes. Okay, not rocket science. I'm going to just move the rook. You attack my rook, I'm moving the rook. Maybe I start trying to just make some stuff happen on this side of the board. What if I push? I can grab this pawn as well. And if he grabs back, then my queen gets involved this way. So I'm going to just go for it. I don't think that my opponent saw that. How long was that on the board? Okay, couldn't do anything. I could have taken it there. Okay, so I had one opportunity. Wait a minute, what? Okay. I was getting a tad bit confused here. And now if I can trade this off, I quite like that position. So please do this. Oof. That is a well-placed bishop. And if I go here, it's locked in. The only thing for me to do there, I can try and pry away the defense. I can take that. So I think it might be my time to just start pushing some pawns. Unfortunately, once this pawn moves, this pawn is attacked by this. I can try this idea, but then I'm coming right back. What if I just put my bishop in a more central square? And then I have at least ideas. At least I have some ideas. But I'm up a pawn. I was definitely just up a pawn the game before this and still got smoked. But now I'm up a pawn. He's got the bishop instead of the knight. Okay. This isn't going to work. If I do this, then this comes in. And I really don't have too many great ways to defend it. So if I push and he pushes, I might just push forward. We're going to do this. Works for now. If we see push, I might just push. Is that crazy? Then my knight is going to have just a hard time participating in the action because his only real route will be like something like this. And then even once he's here, nothing's going to work. So I would have to do this. And still his future is not that great. Might scoot back to at least threaten this. So he pushes a pawn. Oof. It is hard to say. He's probably just going to push, and then we have this ridiculous position over here, which I think I'll be able to lock it down. Take, take, take. He pushes this. I think I'll be all right with all that. So I'm going to scoot back and at least attack something. It's very, very easy for our opponent to parry this. I'll probably, in that case, scoot back one square. Then this becomes a really crazy idea. That I actually quite like. Here, here, here. Then you just defend like that. I was saying earlier that I was happy about this trade. I think I just have to. We're going to just take that. Let's not think too hard. Slide on over, because at some point this file might open up and I don't really want a rook arriving here attacking all this stuff. And now my queen like doesn't have anybody assisting in the attack, so now my queen isn't actually attacking anything. Potentially just going for a queen trade might be in my best interest. Okay, what if I push here? No, because when this comes through, queen trade, pawn push, take, and then his rook gets in. Why is it when you're down a pawn, you just get all the activity in the world? And this bishop is like just a 5-piece point, like a piece worth 5 points. I don't know what to do. And this knight sucks. This. I would really like to try and break out on this side of the board. Oh my god. My speaker's all the way over there. I hope that my voice wasn't super quiet that entire video. I'm going to come over here. I'm doing it. If he takes, I might even just take with the king. But at least now my knight has some ideas of entering the game. And I'm keeping a little eye on this rook over here. Like, I'm up a pawn, but it's this pawn. All right, so I'm moving. Ooh, kind of like the idea of that. Boom, boom. That's a good square for my knight. It just took a lot of moves to get there. Or just shove it in his face. And if he takes, I'm threatening this fork. I mean, he's not going to really fall for that. And he's just got so much space. And I don't really know if I want to trade. Like, if he pushes and I take, and then he gets a defense like this. Yes, I have a pass pawn. So take. Rook comes in. I feel like he's got all the activity. I've got one pawn for nothing, I feel like. I feel like he has all the future prospects. The only, like, I'm up a pawn and I'm also up a minute. But I feel if I trade off this knight in any type of way, then I have no piece that really wants to take this. So if I do this, all of a sudden that makes a lot of sense. Queen trade? Threaten checkmate? If I take this, he's just got more pawns in the middle. What to do? Just allow him to have an absolute wall of pawns in the middle? Let's just do it. Let's just hop right into this endgame. If he takes, I'm going to take. If he doesn't take, I'm going here. And then I'm forking the pieces, actually, which seems quite nice for me. Even if he throws this in, take, fork, here. Oh, I hate it. Take. I feel like I've just got to start opening stuff up. But if I take and he takes with the rook, I don't know what to do. Nothing I do is good. At least I'm attacking this pawn. So if he pushes, what if I just take? Then he takes, then I take, then he cannot take because I'm defending it with this crazy knight over here. Ooh. Grab, take, here, push, take, here. I think I just have to do it. Like, it's not at all what I wanted. Okay. Now we shove this forward. Now my being up a pawn makes some sense. This is his extra pawn, but I think I can figure out a way to get it. So push, take. Ooh, that would be terrible. He'd literally fork my rooks with just a pawn. Can't let that happen. So we're going to attack it. He's going to defend it. We're then going to take. He's then going to take. Like, almost definitely I just have to take. I don't think there was really any other option. Now my king comes over and blocks this. So first, push. Push. Can I just double up on this? Oh my god. Think I have to somehow try and defend this. This is a terrible position. And I'm probably going to have to push this to defend this pawn push. But dude, not okay. Like, still up a pawn, but I'm just defending for my life. Think I'm going to just try and have power over this square. I can also infiltrate. I do quite like that. And my king just coming over here to just hang out with these pawns and keep this guy from moving forward seems all right. Each got 3 minutes. Infiltrate. You got to start defending this once I scoot over. I go here. You go here, but then I'm coming back to get it. So we're going to just hang on to this. Pretty much you have to defend it some type of way. But then I have tactics. Now I have tactics. The question is, take, here, you push, and I have no way to get you. My king needs to be a little bit closer. He might not even see that this tactic is an idea. But now does it work? Take, here, push, then I can get it. Let's make sure there's no funny business. Take. He doesn't actually have to do anything, but we're going to do it. Basic tactic. If this guy moves anywhere, my rook is coming for your undefended rook on the other side. So probably that's actually I don't know what's the best move. Either one, I'm slightly up a pawn. And if he tries to push forward, I'm just going to take, boom. And if he pushes, my king is now one square closer, and I'll be able to save it. And unfortunately, his king blocks his rook from coming anywhere over here to put up some sort of fight. I'm really curious to what the computer's going to say. I know the game's not over, so don't count your eggs before they hatch. But now I'm in the driver's seat with 2 pawns in a rook endgame. Pretty sure I'm going to be able to hang on to this. But I'm really confused. Not confused. I'm really curious what the computer has to say about all this. And I also hope he doesn't just resign. This is like probably a -3 or 4 position now at this point, because we're going into a rook endgame where I'm going to have a passed pawn potentially. And he's got 1 minute and 30 on the clock. I would like for him not to resign so we can at least get some more education out of this match. But we'll see. We'll see if he sent me a message. Okay. Now it can take my rook. But I can pin, but then he comes back, then I can't take. So I think this makes more sense. And now I'm just up 2 pawns, but it's not like I won the game. Definitely didn't win the game yet. But he has to defend, and then I might start pushing. We push. Yes, you can attack, but now I can push this pawn. Like, you can slide over, but then I have a passed pawn. This is going to be impossible for him to defend. Incredibly difficult, at least. Let's go ahead and now we have a secured passed pawn. Maybe I should have taken with the rook. Maybe. I mean, we can scoot a little bit closer. Might as well. Scoot back and attack this. He has no way to defend that, I don't think. Pushing this, my wonderful king. So I can take this with check. I can then force a rook trade. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm up 4 pawns at this point. Might not be the best thing to do, but we're going to just go ahead and do it. I'm going to take that. He gets in. And now I'm just going to come forward. And your rook is stuck guarding this pawn. We give a check. I'm going to give him 15 seconds. I can take, check, scoot out of the way. Definitely we see a check. Which way is more important? We're going to scoot this way. You have to do that. I think we just start pushing pawns over here. Push some more pawns. Come to the middle. Now this becomes also an idea. I can just start trying to push stuff. Oh, he did. I'm going to push this pawn. I don't think there's really any way for me to lose this, essentially. He's just fighting on for his life. Oh my goodness. Push this pawn. Go ahead and give him some more time. Now this pawn is defended. My rook is free to go do some stuff. I can even just push, and then there's not a lot he can do about that. But with 28 seconds on the clock, let's go ahead and give him 15 more. We're going to push. He gets this with check, that's for sure. Going to just make a queen. Check. 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 Checkmate. Got it. I was even going to make a new queen and hit him with a check over here if you didn't see that coming. Oh, boy. Let's check my heart rate. The watch is dead. It's going to 120. It's not that crazy. But definitely it was exhilarating. And I was giving this dude a little bit of time. But you know what? 45 seconds extra isn't going to make up for the 100-point elo difference. So let's go ahead and just check this with the computer. I feel quite good about that game, but it was definitely interesting. But being up a pawn sometimes is a great thing for you. So we're going to check it. I'll see you over there. And here we are in the analysis. And as you can imagine, with the 100-point elo difference, our opponent did not stand too much of a chance. And you see a slow decline. Just a slow and gradual decline, and then it spirals out of control, and it's game over. There were definitely chances in the middle game where he was slightly winning. I'm not sure if you guys can see this perfectly, but he was hanging on. The opening was fine. The middle game was fine. He was just down a pawn the entire time, and I'm not sure that it was the most important pawn. So he played 89% accurate, 6 inaccuracies, 3 mistakes, and I played 7 inaccuracies, but nothing else, 93% accurate. So quite happy with that. Oh my God. All right, and here we are in the analysis. And as one might expect, the 100-point elo difference proved fatal for our opponent, where you see just a gradual decline where it was slipping out of his grasp, and finally he just let go and succumbed to the darkness. So he was doing all right in the middle game. He actually had a slight advantage here in the middle game, but then it just slipped, and he fell. So he had 6 inaccuracies, 3 mistakes, 89% accurate. Nobody made any blunders, so that's pretty good. And then for me, 93% accurate, 7 inaccuracies, and nothing else. So that was quite good. So let's just see what the computer has to say. I think I played this quite well. I was even talking down on the Caro-Kann. But yes, this line is definitely an option. I just don't play it. I just play the standard, boom, regular moves. Then with this, you make your little indestructible pyramid over here. Then it's counterintuitive. I just play this because it's a way easier move to play. He pins. I'm supposed to take the pawn. I didn't. I get my knight because I was undecided what to do with this knight. I push a pawn. Now my bishop has a little place to hide. So all of this is making perfect sense. I am playing immaculate chess. Castle here. And then this push. If he pushes it, like, that's when it just gets kind of not fun for me. Not sure if this knight move made a lot of sense, but it's still completely even, and we just trade off. Because when this happens, and you just get smushed on this side of the board, it happened anyway, but I try to avoid it at least a little bit. And it's even, the computer's even saying here, like, try and break out, because this is coming. And once that happens, it's hard to make any forward progress. So instead, I developed my knight, which wasn't addressing this issue, and it wasn't grabbing this extra pawn. That was my inaccuracy. Okay, I had 7 inaccuracies, but that one definitely makes sense. Move the bishop, and then I grabbed the pawn. Another inaccuracy. It gave up, 70% of a pawn advantage. Take. And his bishop is just renting himself a little house right by the lake. And there's nothing I can do about it. So we push, trying to get my queen to do a little something. We get to trade the bishops, and it's still completely even. If anything, I'm slightly losing here because I was even complaining in the game. I probably took a little bit of time to even make a move. Like, I was probably thinking here for a while because I don't have a lot of forward momentum. He's the one with this huge wall of pawns that's coming forward, and his pieces just have a bunch of space behind it. And my pieces are super cramped, and my queen is no longer actually attacking because I got rid of the other attacking piece. Luckily, I play the best move, and I realize this knight needs to start participating. 2 knight moves that are accurate, and then we just trade. It's an inaccuracy, but I felt like we needed to simplify the position a little bit. I go back. This knight had a journey. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. And finally, it is on a good square. Sometimes it be like that. You just got to jump around a million times. And so what I was kind of anticipating here was a push where I take and then take, because that would have made sense. But I get rid of this bishop because my knight wasn't doing anything. We finally get rid of the bishop. Take. But then I'm able to have activity on the open file. And I'm the first one to the open file. I push this down to prevent this. I think just getting the rook involved first definitely was a better move. We get involved. We double up the rooks. And it's saying that this isn't... Oh, yeah. I was looking at this tactic. I'm 1 square away where the tactic didn't work, and I calculated it. Like, if I take, if he pushes this pawn, my king's here, he can just push again, and there's really not a great way for me to move forward. But this is where his advantage just slowly starts slipping out of the way. And it's showing that this isn't even the best move. It's just keeping it even. But we come back. And then I start pushing my other pawn to eventually attack this. It's the same exact type pin. He can't take her. I take the rook. Finally, now I have a protected passed pawn. We push it. I could have traded the rooks here. That would have made sense. But I felt like grab an extra pawn. Why not? Grab the pawn. And then this I knew wasn't necessarily a great move because it's going to just lose me a pawn. But you can afford to lose a pawn when you're still up 4 pawns, or when you're still up 3 pawns. So take, scoot over. My king is now defending and attacking, and his rook is just rendered defective, doing absolutely nothing. My rook gets a little bit more active. He scoots over, and then I finally grab this pawn. Check. I should have scooted forward and been brave, but I was not brave, and I scooted back to hide behind my pawns. Then we start pushing pawns over here, and ultimately this 4 is going to make some passed pawns over here. He's going to have to address it. Take. Now I've got a weakness, but I can afford to have weaknesses in this point. And then I realized I can start just pushing this pawn. And once my pawn gets here, it's game over. So 1 rook cannot stop these. We get here. Boom. We make a queen. There was a mate in 2, but honestly, I just needed to give some checks. Check. And that's it. And if he would have went up here, it would have been cool. And I could have made a rook. Got a checkmate. Boom. Okay. I played generally really accurate. I don't think there was a whole lot that our opponent could even do in this game. He's probably going to report me for cheating. 90 whatever % accurate. Every move I made sense. Other than in the beginning where I just let him get a little space advantage. But either way, that was a pretty instructive game. There was no one blunder that threw it away. It was just a slow progression, just slowly pressing on our opponent with the 1 pawn advantage. And then all of a sudden that 1 pawn advantage became my passed pawn. And so thank you so much for watching. That was a pleasure to play, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.